no ewiano abo ewiana abo kama pa say e kroma ye de ewiana ebonti bomodi ana pie bi na pepe be ye vitamin D ni bi vitamin D, you know. Go somewhere, go outside. You know, say, go picking cranny winner or now time, no schedule, no, you're too tight. You know, just take a walk, you know, have some picnic. When they will, a year friend is saying, will partner. Munjimani, I think cheba, what you say. And because you son, now your papa near my minimum, the creative happiness, am I? But the idea, we have to create the happiness, ourselves. Who create happiness, aman krano? Don't forget yourself also. Create happiness also for yourself. What you say? Because encheni ate, mami daya wan sorry, papa daya wan sorry, adwendwini kum nipa. And it create happiness. What you say? Create. Ebwapa. Ame fanchia kese emma eye Ghana fo a wo motie me ewo eye Manchester, Rainbow Radio Manchester. Rainbow Radio International. Ena aja wasugusu a wutie no. Rainbow Radio London. Ena Dr. Ren Matna kwenyemu a ena meden sempa na brel. Breaking news there. Me wodada. But metwa ma eye anamenka. The Attorney General or the breaking news or the bebre Ghana for. I say Ghana for ne say one more movie yesi kanyanchi wo. Yes sir. Enti breaking news sir. Me din Kenya aye enkrata ni nyina. Enti ye betwen na Attorney General de ne dia ba be confirm nsem a me ne ubedi no. Exactly aye 6 p.m. ye ni wura aye Bernard aye Oduro Takyi yene ne betwetwe nkomo BOT or ye chartered economist wabene pa when it comes to economist semu dia wabene sing menka wa fatwas wabene sing hwan mo pa semu enti ye bedi nkomo we look at the 10% tariffs United States of America impose on Ghana. You better share the ways you better grow economically na ya dear so that we don't go begging our IMF. What is a Ghana for the debia near co near sresre ya dania sresre for and so we'll go diamond bauxite. What can we do different to move away from the colonial days? Yeah, dependent on foreign agencies. Foreign countries. We need to share ideas. It's about solution. Solution in so dear. Enye broni ni nkwane woni trim. But when I'm saying no, yen share information, yen share knowledge intino. Dani den nyina no na eja. O hawo ni atete ne kwadanda no a na egusua endidemu sabu se esi kwabena gone too soon. Ochese ni knowledge ni na no. Wanchama wo bia odi akosha adaka menem. So today we'll be speaking to chartered economist, Bernard, Oduro Takyi, Wetianechi, Nenaechi, all the way to Malaysia. And then we know say about 12 midnight Malaysia. But I'll say my who don't know. Or better day, or better nas in the wet Bomodiano on ye din como, or the UK phone in Aberdeen como, or the Ghana for Europe bedin como. Until exactly at 1 a.m. Malaysia time, which will be British time, 6 p.m. no, on the bedi in komo kama ewa say. Mami chairman beloved at saying. And phone line also may be to me sure say beloved mu number friend no match or my journey. A quite bench ni bit me free with yani and which anymore. Ya boka dodo ya deka. One of the designs ya no mo mbedi ya sumiri bi no wo mo mpese ya bedi ya ho ntide bia no wo mo fa some system bi na o ma design it to make us remain poor, and we always fall victim to that particular design. That design in say ye be ma wo loan na wuji wi a na fe wuntimi ntua wo de na ewumua na afi de o economy no na afi ababa ye basa na declare we say wukuro no kra no a highly indebted poor country to be hunu na afi de o economy no na ye declare no bankrupt be hu na afi de the sanctions near the tata it would do ho a na ende ene ye nkyere yadwene ekwan ye befa so but me wan krata bi wa ha sei me satellite tracker edi abreme. You know, this program is a fact-finding program. This is the program me makacho say, I am not somebody, I am a neutral. Me kan yenye anywhere I go as a broadcaster, as a journalist, me nkasa me ye neutral. Me kase me ye objective journalist. There is nothing called neutrality. In this world, you have to belong to something. Me belong to the school of truth. Me belong to the school nokre. The school of facts. The school enye intwatoso. That school I don't belong. The school sebio ano kasa entie. I don't belong to that. But I belong to the school sebio epenokre. After all, adia ba kuna Bible no tai kan say the truth no it sets men free. Yendi yen ho yenye free ni nyina is because we are a people ye nokre no ewo fom ye nokre ka no ewo fom ye ntro no do so sen nokre no enti esua nokre no more we will be set free. Enti ebedi nkomo, I have never been a neutral person. I am an objective seasoned broadcast journalist. Ebedi sa nkomo no na eja wa adwene bia no so no ode aba. Now mamin go through the documenter. Your friend is saying, me satellite tracker, Eddie Abremino. Now, let me read to you a friend is saying, the Ghana, your crew, or my name, or say, in the Superior Court of Adjudicature, in the High Court, General Jurisdiction, Accra, AD, 2025, the Republic versus Kwabena Edubwahi, first accused, Angela Ejaibuating, second accused. Mildred Donko, third accused. Advantage Solutions Limited, fourth accused. Charge sheet, count 1. Statement of offense. Stealing, contrary to Section 124, Section 1 of the Criminal Offences Act. Act 1960, Act 29, particulars of offense, Kwabena Edubwahi, that you on or about February 5th, 2020, in Accra, and within the jurisdiction of this court, did, under the guise of procuring a cyber defense system for the Republic of Ghana from ISC Holdings Limited, dishonestly appropriate the sum of about 27,100,000 Ghana cedis belonging to the Republic of Ghana with the intention of depriving the government of Ghana of the said amount. Count 2. Statement of offense. Stealing, contrary to Section 124, Section 1 of the Criminal Offences Act 1960, Act 29, page 1. Particulars of offense. Kwabena Edubwahi, that you on or about March 20th, my birthday nso abranti wo muade akura my birthday no di bone sai. I'm highly disappointed in him. In Accra and within the jurisdiction of this court, did under the guise of procuring a cyber defense system of the Republic of Ghana from ISC Holdings Limited, dishonestly appropriate the sum of about 1 million Ghana cedis belonging to the Republic of Ghana of Ghana with the intention of depriving the government of Ghana and the said amount. Count 3, statement of offense. Stealing contrary to Section 124, Section 1 of the Criminal Offence Act 1960, Act 29, particulars of offence. Kwabena Edubuahe, that you, on or about March 30th, birthday 29, 30th, I stand to be corrected, in Accra and within the jurisdiction of this court, did, under the guise of procuring a cyber defense system of the Republic of Ghana from ICS Holdings Limited, they dishonestly appropriated the sum of about 21 million Ghana cedis belonging to the Republic of Ghana with the intention of depriving the government of Ghana of the said amount. Count 4. Conspiracy to stealing contrary to Section 23, Section 1 and Section 124, Section 1 of the Criminal Offence Act 1960, Act 29, particulars of offence, Kwabena Edubuahe and Angela Eje Boateng, that you in February and March in Accra and within the jurisdiction of the court did agree to act together to steal the sum of about 49,100,000 Ghana cedis belonging to the Republic of Ghana with the intention of depriving the government of Ghana of the said amount. Count 5. Statement of offense, defrauding by false pretense, contrary to Section 13, Section 131, Section 1 of the Criminal Offences Act 1960, Act 29, particulars of offense, Kwabena Edubuahe, that you, in or about February and March 2020, in the Accra and within the jurisdiction of the court, by the false pretense that you were going to buy a cyber security system for the Republic of Ghana, caused the government of Ghana to part with the sum of about 49,100,000 Ghana cedis belonging to the Republic of Ghana. Account 6. Statement of offense. Willfully causing financial loss to the state contrary to Section 179A, Section 3 of the Criminal Offences Act 1960, Act 29. Kwabena Edubuahe, that you in February and March 2020 in Accra and within the jurisdiction of the court did, under the guise of procuring a cyber defense system for the Republic of Ghana, ISC Holdings Limited, willfully caused the Republic of Ghana to lose a sum of about 49,001,000 Ghana cedis. Count 7. So, count ni di adoso. Eti enei ne krakra mebubo muwa count na ye up to count count ni up to count 11. Now, oko the summary of a year accompanying a year factor. A year, the Attorney General was stating facts, figures, document, and a year evidential. And near ma, Kwabena Edubuahe, or name Nkofuya Mabobo Omudi, Omudi Sumasi Via, wa my Ghana Sika. Na eja, wa mine boka. It be a deliberate, causing financial loss to the state. It be womu via Ghana Sika. And in the Attorney General was so any Ghana for Bekasa. Na when Ghana for be din komo, me no kasa die. I'm say, eja, womu gusua, womu din komo. Na wode betu dwa Ghana for nyina. Wiase amanse nyina no ye beti ase se. John Dramani Mahama, His Excellency, ne legacy term ya woba say, de wo wi Ghana bia no ye bechina tum no na nya agodie de nei omo de eye kwabena adubuahe omo de ne ene enkofo mabbo bodin nyina no ye de wo mo kogina court na ye di wo masem obi se causing financial loss to the state no a year between a year 15 years to 25 years. If you must say 10 years, and I think said the lawyers will do us the good service. No much rich. It means no say dear a year Kabina Edubuai National Signal Bureau under Nana Adodankwa Ekufu Ado Kronoa Uria yen sika Wamo fa yen japade na sika eyeye dia no omdi sumasi ewiai the Attorney General Dr. Dominic Ayeni Esquire ene yi wasenne eye ensem no dia ma the Registrar of High Court Accra eti se waye wadwene se obekọ aban mu akowia o man Ghana fo sika dia ene ye kokowia ye sika dia ye bechew ye chewo nsunso dia ye de obetum ye besa agye sika sika ne nya odia ai oye kromfo a ye bechew timenye wadwene se o ba be wia Ghana fo sika na wabọ Ghana fo wabọ ye nkro no jai se sana wotie dia ye man no eka se besom yen abesom yen wono krem we eye nsem a enei eye the Attorney General wode ebe ma Ghana fo na Ghana fo nyina ehunu ekwan no senia etie pepepe now ye be free ho na yakwa akotie the newspaper review na ye ba MPP tour Adane kickboxing tour MPP tour Adane bottle breaking bottle and glasses ameno kasedi MPP political party no ye kabima minkebi no ene ewu kakabia na ye de sekan awo ye bedi nkomo eno nti ama eye Kennedy akompre kwa Japan say thank you to no kra no onye biem because ne nkofo ye wo mo sekan ene ye wo mo sekan dia enya dia obeto akoso akwa ye thank you to bia nto ne mpamfo ometwa so thank you to no omo na nye biem omo nkoso nkonko ye biem this is what a year Kennedy akompreku Japan ekan let a year court charge sheet ya mekenkan no Dr. a year friend say Dr. Dominic Ayenini Attorney General ediba ye a makenkan ma no efa a year ex-NS boss National Signal Bureau boss ne yere ene ne namfofo bia omuwi a Ghana enti a year kwabena edubuahe one ne yere they have been charged stealing 49 million Ghana cedis enye no nko a sikane dos and also causing financial loss to the state kofo ba yi o sete a fast track high court amanfo mu wi sika okay bibi rice omo kode de mu kama kofo bebre kode ti ubo Ghana krono a sefata se Ghana etwewaso eye otumfo His Majesty nana nyankwada ene Ghana fo ahemfo nyina nso mu nyankwada ene peace talk no woma postpone eye boku peace talk mene wo kase omo hyase enra na enkra be se boku peace talk postponed Menchia Palace to confirm new date. Efforts to resolve the long-standing Boko conflict have been temporarily postponed to next week your sources are a free mentia and this a year revelation or the amame a year tracker, satellite tracker, and a day a information yaba. Or say the peace process being led by Asantini Utumfo say to two a year. The second was initially expected to take a major step on Monday 28 April. However, due to complexities surrounding the chieftaincies dispute at the heart of the conflict, the scheduled resolution meetings have been delayed. The Menshia Palace is yet to officially announce a new date for the resumption of the mediation sections. Otumfuo's involvement in the peace effort has been widely welcomed across the country, with many viewing his leadership as a potential turning point in bringing lasting peace and stability to the troubled region. So, His Excellency, His Majesty, Nana Krobia Santehene Autosimienu, Boko, and Sensemino, resolution no and they was say won tren so kakra or tren so kakra wo be date no de amaye o moto to no amaye sene o motenasia they can bring lasting solution na nyankwada na Ghana honhom tai Ghana chima na nyansa na won tumi nsiesie na asomdwe mbra yenuanom a omoye mampurusifo ene kusasifo na asomdwe mbra wo muntem den a yenuamfo gwan Ghana ene yehwehwe. Now, yanko the news make all the headlines. But yebeko the other news ni no. Mamenka will say Sametinasi say anache say overseas student house ana womode ensempano ede amame se memfa emrewo na overseas student house there. Se wo pe wo machira kwanya. Wo telephone numbers no 020 81 443633 020 81 443633. We busa say overseas student house at the end of omoye. The omoye ni nyina ne say wo pese wo besua de e United Kingdom. Wo be ye wo masters, further education e UK ha. Whether say your first degree and now masters omo be boa ama wetimi nya akwanya ba besua de wa ha. Omo are in partnership with a number of universities omo United Kingdom ha. Number ensure a smooth process. My main country say 100% admission guaranteed. Now no mrantie ne maba obi o maba omo esua bie some of the universities omo di ho adanse. Womo may intake no de ahyase na nyame ade o akina no bomodiana frɛ womo tentententemwa. The obetua na £175, 3,500 Ghana cedis. Womo wo discount emma courses bi to say MSc in cyber security, MSc in information technology, masters public administration and a whole lot. Iti frɛ womo ententem wo Ghana the ohiane say obe frɛ womo WhatsApp so na direct call plus 233 24 285 037 plus 233 24 285 037 and answer bet me from plus 233 243 173 713 plus 233 243 173 713 Frewo tentemwa na omomboa na fa dofo na wawofo na wo baby and I wouldn't be na sponsor and I'm on knowledge they say is power. Now, ladies and gentlemen, yemfa the newspaper review no ene ebeka yensano. Ensemo koso pa. There is a lot of news happening with UK Chrome. Efa a certain saying enkrata ho nsem. Ye chichi Ghana fo bebre ti yenuanom a mo amunim line no munya ahwe yi why munya ahwe yi because Rainbow Radio ye lawyers ya na eboa mo a ye lawyers ya na ede omoboa mo a eja omutwitwaje mo wise man solicitors mo ne womo boaboa our in-house lawyers eti momfrefre womo why I momfrefre mo na momfa mo ho gija. It's very very important because raid na aye cost no enye bibi ketwa na ayi womo koye bi wo aye a friend is saying Manchester ne Liverpool ne yes Swansea wo ti munya hweye wo hana wonam kromu na enwema ni ho a pe lawyer ya me kam kire mu say pe lawyer asem bi ba na quickly wa frɛ no krom ha de wonya kasa have a lawyer yetewase a rule of law ti pe lawyer ehia because read na ekoso no ano ehye pa UK ekoso den the US nso gidi o ana bi nso koso US so yenya hweye and onim say enkoye wo side wa memfere pe lawyer yenyina yenim de ntia ye ba krom ha memfere bibie no ye fere pe lawyer na lawyer mboa. It's very very important send ye bibi to wa ye in-house lawyers yi BWF solicitors mo ho what you say RBN solicitors mo ho Wiseman solicitors wo mumfrɛ mu bia what you say maka kire say ye wo Ghana for dodo almost 200,000 Ghanaians are documented e wo krum ha ana wo mo nye documented e Ghana for enso bro odie omo so doso sin omo ayen doc omo doso omo no so sin omo ya document omo de but omo doso ye were documented Ghanaians almost 200,000 living in the United Kingdom. Indeed, a well to a wise is enough. Radio station is to inform you. What you say? I say inform you. Send ya wutu anamobia. Obeya hweye. Memma obi a ono onye lawyer a oye pocket lawyer ntene fie ntuufo. Mini maami bi a wotena krom ha. Na owon krata ha na enso na ma na osuro na yem hyehye no. Adan ya na efie na watim no ni nkofo no no motene se ne nkrata ne de eye visit nti ontimi mfa nya adwuma mi wa na maami ni kura nkrata e ma no ho kwan ya wotimi de ya adwuma. Ano se ye me wafa ase menhia wo de a na me say aya munnimu a mumbusa wo mo a omwo nimude wo saa and field no ukobusa carpenter ni ekwan a eje awo a wa ni a wo de your friend is saying obabo 2x4 ni we ukobusa carpenter ni ekwan a ye fa so eje awo na carpenter ni waje awo enya midwife ni doctors na kwa kobusa wo aya sanu man nim de ntia. You see, our people should understand say enya fair to seek information enya fair unim na ubusa enya nim guase why na kire mu sa minimu a mebusa nkroma mebusa eye JK minimu a mebusa ko wiase ye mimiti enya de menhunu niam ni nyina ebi nim se minim bi sen ebi unso sanso na unso benim bi asen bi ti wonimu abusa ede na emam wo hunu Jobi ka jo say wo ye tu no just say wo de wonim wo de wonim a pe more knowledge is very very important. They be amekasa the difference between Europe, America and Africa information knowledge. What you say? Knowledge when acted upon brings illumination and leads to transformation. Mamena tena kruma no nim se ne nkrata ne tumi ma ne ye adwuma. Ana munso amuti krom ha maba wa ne nkeye mrante amwo krom ha mesram wa munya nkrata na nya chinchina atwan se aprapra nko na fa yo nkrata na de ma wanya ye ntworo ho se aprapra nko na fa yo adan unya nkrata na ya baba wa na betimi akosku ni bi kosunya nim de kopenim de Enkrata no yemfa ma wo say adwuma ketewa bi nkwa na prapra nkwa cleaning nkwa. Hey, when I catch it, there's a lot of disciplines in this country. Kohun school, konyanim de ye. O won sa no dwuma bi so aye. Encourage your omano to become carpenters, masons, handyman works. Sika wom pa. Sika wom. Encourage your children. Samaya be woni nkra ne nkwa outside. Woni omu ni nkomo. Ene ya nkra bia ya na me ne omo aye youth and justice adwuma ya. Omo ni me di nkomo say, uncle, our parents when we go, how are you? I'm fine. That's all. Yembusa say uko obu ne bani befie no obusa ne say, Kwabena, when you went to school, how was school? Kwabena ka say it's fine. Everything is fine. Mama no we see obusa hwe biem. Papa ne si obusa hwe biem. Hey. Parenting no nyasa. How are you? No ni ntenase na oni ni nkomo as a father, as a mother, as a parent. What was your difficulties today at school? Is there anything that you want to share that is more joyful? Is there anything that you want to share that is more sorrowful? Uni ni san komo to know your child what happened. Who are your friends? Or your bar, who are your friends? Uni omundi nkomo. Lady a child to say. Ya mana ya wo omo hano. We should be their friends and their parents. We should interact. And then now the one krata now the osusu say ubetu kwan ya say Ghana pe na woko. Hey, ya wo France wo ho, Germany wo ho. Australia, America. Unu omo nkuko bi. Build memories. Now the sikape no an wapa sikape yinso wo pe wan na wo pe de ama wo. Enkwara no na wo pa ma omo. Wo si dan no enkwara no na se ekina bi woni wa en omo ne odan ni ntimi ni nkomo. Muntie me ya ye wa kwantu. Edan no a wato no mortgage me ka asem to bi eye good. Pe bi nye bi. But you see, you need to also have bond, have time, relationship. Because we ja edan no wa oba no so ran pa onko gina onko bisa say good morning house, how are you house? What the oba no de be kai wo memories. Memories. When I was at the age of 4, when I still talk about my father because I had memories. I built memories with my dad. Fantastic one. Because when he was teaching me how to pray, how to read the Bible, how to play tennis. I remember like yesterday. Mikai, when my dad would send me to music classes, na misuya accordion, na misuya keyboard. I remember. These are memories. If you know what I here, if you know the if you know crano, maybe see modern ones, latest ones. Okay, so mukwa say if you come say ayedada. I remember when my grandfather open if you were fefe kesiye guguruja ene u ne na mokra u ne use ko papa dia kesiye ne suo say. So build memories with your children. Build memories. If so when we hear cranty, now we are separated a family, husband and wife, maybe you are not together. And also in Chesa Papa, mention woman, Ghana for my member mutia quenti muntie. JK, or say some of them will not even go to Ghana to stay. Oh yes, I know. I remember 27 years ago, there was this man, medical doctor in America, oversee huge bungalow. Oh yeah, estate area. Or then a mabai and a man benin and an estate to less than 2 weeks. They went back to America. They can't bond, they can't relate, they can't Oh, moko. A kabapa no kwa. A query carpenter no o see dino and a carpenter no. A dino be an idea. So build relationship. build bonds, make memories. Papa Fuanwa, Sebio say, when the mamine jaya, and non trese men show back, some mamine ma with difficulties are there is something we call family court. Go there, seek redress. Mamine raise allegations say we are abusive domestic manner. Go and learn a healthy behavior. Court be man one kwany court will call in Kafkas bemwa one be hwe said the mamene kan no kure wom ana de won so kan no kure nim. These are the things make sure you have time and share time with your children. There is nothing precious to say nyame be dum na wo ba de bia me ka se Africa yem koyenim no kona yen koyenim no we meka obi me ke amanfo yi wo mbobofu me na enso meka emu bebre no agina eye the parent, the home. They say the man is the head and the woman is the neck. Sebio sa adwene ne nya adwuma ebe de na neck na ten. So men must lead. That is leadership qualities. I'm saying this because Emubino is becoming a lot. Yankwada no amu bebre no anu ne yedu omo kokoko the sentence mbu amintimi kan o radio so but whether oni ma minute ana oni ne nti oni ne wo mankwa dia make it a priority. Bond relationship, build relationship, make memories with them. Ladies and gentlemen, yanko fa aye the newspaper aye review no. Na eba ye den semo akani nyina no. Me de besomo.
28th April 2025 abusuan for munwa keto abramoro ne mejiri senya miadum ye nyina ya ho ye the Daily Searchlight ko wakrata. Ayini swears not to present cases until CJ is asked sources or mobo amonfa source nimra. Baumia launches Akufo-Addo on blame tour, sir. Enye blame you. Thank you to name on blame tour. Yentie bi niemfa abai.
3 days to the election. Yet to person.
I swear, we are going to die.
Yebetuaba, what to Petrumu, William Sawo NDC for. Press release, declaration of Thursday, 1st May 2025 as a statutory public holiday. 1st May Susi Openia Mosheni, Ayanauda, watches Yankupon Shano, His Excellency Mr. Benjamin Kofi Kwashi, Papa Wedia, Mr. Dakro, Yebejim Rakan Hwasen. The Daily Banner, election 2024 defeat. Okwe report blames cost of living and governance issues. Kodia, Sa, Yentibie, Baumia Kawadrin.
All the studies are so far. The big issues are one, cost of living. Niema bo e kosoro, ahochiri e bai. The kamu e adia yefreno arrogance of power.
The Bebuana party Mumian MPP party no faso bi ani so what you say the National Voice MPP other parties to demonstrate against CJ suspension on May 5 ebeduru ho yebehwe sankrofo we how many media ye hunu mo so faso wo Ghana omo ene be sa demonstration no yebehwe yebeduru onya atwemfo dismiss workers will be prioritized for jobs under next MPP government Baumi assures and na mumientie enyoma hunu ekoso MPP.
I heard in the news that for 4 months we've not been able to pay salaries and even money to work.
Hey! No! My former party office, Busume 9 months to Mintia Omoka. Mapko Modebaye egu. Now I say, Masa Yankoe, implementation of sanitary pads for adolescent girls welcoming AP or comments Mahama. Said Mediawe, His Excellency Mr. Benjamin Kofi Kwashi started here. Abraham NDC war position. And John Mahama share boss of Eman Pena or Bayer Wayo. Mr. Mahama Bosha or Shea Nano, 95% Waye. The campaigner, our grassroots are our greatest asset, Baumia. Some grassroots name greatest asset, Amonton, normal frontier party no hoka. What you say? And one no. IMF boss applauds Ghana's economic turnaround. Samati, Mamado Diako IMF, Edinburgh, who never to so Bosmimi and Sabia light burning water bill Cosro. John Mahama Mimdef Wobaye, someone who such a yaba. The Daily Analyst was saying, GBA clashes with Mahama, demands reinstatement of suspended Chief Justice. Ghana Bar Association, MPP for Nigo. Munina Yabetias Moso, Yabapa Munina Mofrio, because Hunomoson Faswo. Yanko, Mr. Akomia defends Baumia over blame shifting tax, and a Baumia Blemo Kufuado. And Dr. Mr. Akomiasu, Oboyade, Yanko. Talk on no suspension, minority court women support. Muye nyatrum for. Yet Ghana, NMPP for sopa adwasafo. Mutimi sori nyansa say, a man member support adwasafo. Masa, yanko. The Ghanaian radar, cattle on rampage as Fulani herdsmen terrorize in Kranza North and South. Baumia yere oye Fulani, we na one can once. Now we nikunu preman penya kunya. Yanko. MPs call for sanitation funding after touring Zoom Lines facilities. Ebe me de say MP biano ebe responsible for nimpeso aso ahunidie. What you say? Yanko Ghana feed was say Baumia Hills polling station executives and grassroots as parties pillars. And they wouldn't see from no more flag bearer no. Or when they be on bit my home than their boy party no. We had a solid record of achievement, but not everything went right. Baumia solid record ni bini there. E-levy. COVID-19 tax, emission tax, and as a NDC has prepared petitioners for the removal of EC boss, Nana B alleges, Nana B, Supreme newspaper. Criticisms from within the party hurt MPP's 2024 campaign. Baumia and the Enekre, Bramuru Minda Dimutin Team Mine. Me a fucking idea, no, as a mere Baumia, the near the Magana for Multi and
Rainbow Radio Live.
Motherfucker.
Rainbow Radio
we have learned our
Live.
lessons as a party and we will correct ourselves. Dr. Mamadou Baumia, and you credit you've never learned your lessons and can no opposition. Kauda so to a yampia de Macanedi. Yentiebi.
Na yankasa against each other. Na NDC ebo ewo radio ewo TV.
Rainbow Radio Live.
94 FM. What you say? Now we Bramuro media ye family de kwa bonten so a wo se yenya de. Ebusuafo de bia meka me say propaganda entro mum yenya yemfa no kredie nante. Ade abaomi aka de waye yemfa nkwa bonten. De wonye ye de wonkan me yemfa nko. De mahama ye waka yemfa nkwa bonten. De wonye ye me nkotwa ntro. No fie no age yenso me mu Facebook Bramuro media.
Enti we eye newsy ana ye bo modia ede ebre wo kama eye the newspaper review no. Yes na ebusua enche ye ne yenua eye Bernard Oduro ye ne no ebre twetwe eye enkomo ewo eye afidie mu ahase. Hai. So MPP said womo ekoto. To no ma to din thank you. Now, thank you, Nuna. Adane something which is there. Chese and tokwesim. Utumi say a man for a fu. People are not happy. A giant kofu bi pa dia wan hwe ni ya. Die besi. But in all this, the question Amibusane say, where are the leaders of the MPP party? And to borrow Professor Marty's own words, Enyansafwe muwahin. Where are the wise men and women the MPP party? Woman di party nim ache. And there's something for the way. Questioner maybe son. Into the akosi, a year former president John Ejekum Kufuor into Onhuye. Na so Onhuye nso a eni die mu a ontie set ne party a eboa ne man be ye president dede esim kasakasa abem mentime ho ase abem ama amanfo wo mo ho sekan ene yeken Honorable Kennedy Akompre Japan say nobody can stop reggae Aye. Ɔso ɔno deɛ MPP foɔ twe wɔn mu tan a ɛnya deɛ obi betumi astop no. Wɔn pe wɔn mpe wo. Ɔbɛkɔ akɔ contest the 2028 general election no. Ɛwɔ ɛyɛ the ticket of ɛyɛ MPP dem. Nti ada ɔmo bie sɛ wɔn na pɛ sɛ odi MPP anim no na yɛkɔto ne so aba no. So nobody can stop reggae. Busa say. So where are the Enyansafua Omowo the MPP party? And then woman to mean kasa. And I say they woman show some coca. Ebi a mebunu ne maba we. Esi na idie. E mebunu ne maba ono mano. Ya. Omo de oma no besi wo so ombe so pa wo din nti ene ye kasa ide enyansafo no omo wo party ni mu no omo suro so mekwa akọ kasa na yentie enkomo ni bie mra ye chinchim emfidie no na yahwese ensabeka yenua eye Bernard Oduro Takyi, Chartered Economist.
His energy in the place is electrifying. And look, the two of them, if you see the chemistry between Ken and Bawumia, it's beautiful. Look, I have seen a banter between Ken and Buntumi. Heated. I was uncomfortable. In less than 2 minutes, maybe done. Me and KBM, yes, I heated arguments. Now it will take me maybe a week or a month to get over it. Honorable Ken is such a person, or can I do he's moved on. That's how he is. And also, no, it's good because I send a bonnet, you know. What kind of Conway is free? He's a free person.
And seminar no. Just one idea, okay, can semo, or we are Conwa free, and so. Sometimes okay can is answer ahenia ebia wo no we few content but do also take pain and manage. I mean chair na so all the way over Milton Keynes would Felida Amanfo and so 8 years ans no ra aye ahite aye sasreku so hwe all the way every aye the United States of America Donald Trump ekrum Ofori Dixon and so edinchia ena J.K. Best or say, Doc, please, Ekofo didn't talk during Anes era, so I don't think he will talk. Just Ekofo and Casentino, and Yadia is what Casa. Assemble. Now, an idea, yes, say a year KNUST, Tewu branch, or might declare a year indefinite, a year. Strike over a year governing a year council representations and a year trained a year teachers womo ye training womo for 6 years na aban ma womo adwuma in 2024 and womo babontin esu se womo aketua aketua no yentua he enti womo akoye picketing wo ye kire ene me no wo kase die I almost say Oma ye juma for 8 good months. Oma ketuya no yentua etino omo buwe fupa. Yenko ni yenko tie eye mranti ni bi omonum asemo a omo de atu eye edwa. Yenko na yenko tie ensemo a emrewa tewa yi. Omo enim fefefe no omo bodwe fu kama ensemo omo de atudwa.
That it's been very hectic over here. A whole lot of issues, up and downs. But then before we start everything, I need to apologize to the Ghana Police Service. We apologize for not notifying them before this picketing. We thought that if you want to picket, there is no need for you to go for permission from them. And they came to educate us. And kudos to them, they have been very calm with us. Just that after some few minutes ago, there has been some altercation between us, and which hasn't been very pleasant. Sure. let me start with what happened here. We came.
Before that, just a quick background. Last 3 weeks when you were here, I remember the summary of everything was that you were in, you had a closed-door meeting with the ministry, and they told you they were going to get back to you. And how has that been? 3 weeks now. What has been the response?
Yeah, from the committee that they set up, we on pages, we have our executive platform. So we've been trying to engage the people who were part of the committee, and the news that we get from them is they've not heard from our leaders. So I think one of the committee members called I don't know, to be honest, is it the PA of the HR or the HR itself? I stand to be corrected. And then the information they got from them that it was a holiday. That she felt like she wasn't supposed to talk about our issues, saying it's a holiday. It's very appalling, to be very honest. We are not foreigners. We are citizens. We didn't pass any way to become teachers. We passed through the right process. We have all the necessary certificates to be employed. Then we come here. The sad thing is when we got here in the morning, they came and were even asking of who were the committee members. So I asked myself, is it that they don't know who we are, or just because we are plenty, they can't even recognize us? Because it's very sad, like you set a committee and you can't even recognize them when they come. Now they came, we took them in for almost 2 hours. We've been standing here, no food, nothing, just here. And then they came back and they tell us that they are now about to start the press conference. Now I asked myself, so for those 2 hours that they were in there with you, what are you guys talking about? What was the really situation? Now they come and they tell us to calm down because they think there are noises or we are making noise. Yes, definitely we have to agitate. We are not deaf, we are not dumb. We are not paralyzed. We are active people. We have feelings, we have emotions. Then we come here and you expect us to sit down and keep quiet. It wouldn't happen. We've gone to college for almost 6 good years. Complete, have a national service, stay home for almost a year. What have you done? Are we not the right people to employ? Tell us something. Let us know our mistake. Is it wrong to be a teacher?
Rainbow Radio. Breaking news. 92.4 FM and DAB+.
Nti wei ɛyɛ ade a ɛmɛbro no esu a wɔn ka ho nsɛm a wɔn hwɛ anim sɛ ɛgya mpɛnfo betie wɔn sufrɛ na wɔn akatua no bosome ɛyɛ ɛnwɔtwe na ɛyɛ John Mahama ɛne ɛyɛ the Minister for Finance nti wɔn sufrɛ because ɛnneɛma mu ɛɛdene ɛde ma ɛyɛ ɛmɛbro yi a wɔn esu dendenden nsɛm a wɔn ka ne nyinaa sɛ Oma ye juma bosome enwotwe 8 months, which means 8 months di ane say enye aban yi na eja womo contract no. It's a contract na happening under His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. But government continues inti it doesn't matter which government aba. Aban ya abai enhwe na eja akatue bia no a eye womo de bia no. Ententem no ano yemfa enkonkoma wo mo senia wo mo so we na ya magana fo bebre no ano omo ye nnuema bi a ensem fata no because say abrantie be ya adwuma babunu be ya adwuma na mre ni bedu say ase etua ne ka na ye ntua ne ka. How are we expecting say a man benya sika e de ahwe wo mo ho? And we push our own children, our own adults, we push the youth into certain vices. Biwa brabomwa, and some fata. And I think say, enya dia a boy or mine. We should be very proactive. E kromwa yeti, uye juma, posumene swa na waketu ya wonsaka. Kana dia waprapra obesu nisika hon. Dia wachira dia nsu besu ni sika ho. Na o mai dia wonsu ni sika ho ye minister, MP, president. Dia bosome ne su ya na o maketua na dem. Na so panke ya hwede a. Enka wo man no ka dia esen ko tumi su ni sika ho pa echire. Eye president. Because wono the number one servant. Na then the number one servant ni de wagina ketuantem. na citizens a wo mo ti krum ho no wo mo maketua de emma ana abusua ensemu a making woni me enye adwene anyway midnight Malaysia time you know endi muaye but anyway yebehwe na eya yene owura eye Bernard Oduro yene no atwetwe eye enkomo ewo efikasie mu ha sei enkomo no emu be de emu hwenhwam Ghana hodonti bebi a owo no has passed a year one already but ose senior tibia no obehwe na woni yen edi eye enkomo. So maminkin kan eye some of the messages na abano we every year adwa boatima or say Dr. Ren, indeed I was expecting the MPP to do better. At least they should learn from the NDC. Myself as an MPP member, I am very disappointed with this thank you tour the turnout of the thank you tour. Ishmael or say John Mahama idebi keke. We told you we'll reset Ghana. Ghanaians should give us time. We just came into power in 4 months. Me satellite team say adena meneminchia a year Jubilee House of War. Adem no mo won tokwa na ye mini Jubilee House of War ni tokwa. Enti me chia Jubilee House of War. Wo mutie satellite tracker ya mo so mon kan ntem. Oh, wonso mon ka eye mon kan ntem a eboa. Jubilee House of Womi Chiamo. Ghana for ese accommodate womu. Prices of food ekosoro. Mwenye mwenye bibi mfaho. The Ghana for kana me make chiremo. Me nyadi amibo mitrima kan bibi. The Ghana for kan. And me babet na ha me come say prices of food and food no ekosoro dodo. Womu se matiti fuel so de nenso nneoma bo kwa na ekosoro. Ghana pena e fuel so a eja insesi ebetini your maso yente so the dishonesty of the Ghanaian okoka na wenya asem eti atete so idie monso monhwena montete eye nneoma maso na nneoma bo ayeden dodo ewo eye o my Ghana. Anyway, so Chief Justice won sem bebre eso aba betodwa ama aye Ghana Bar Association for the omanu atum say suspension na ye suspend ye Chief Justice no enye kwan paso and ye suspend the Chief Justice. Mamen kan no kre wa ha say Ghana Bar Association omuni authority bia omuni authority is just an association to say a year trade union congress to say Okada Association to say ebia enzema association eye ekuekuo na opa na wa join but omu ni authority omu kasa eye se chinchine twan o my Ghana na yefa and they speak opinion otiase omu kire omu adwene sene ebia o nso be frɛ me bie phone lines na nso be frɛ na wa kire wa adwene no saa na Ghana Bar Association for eye na Ghana Bar Association na nse wohwɛ mu a enkaya ya me se omo aba bedane more partisan and omo favor a certain particular political party. We know the president of the Ghana Bar Association say nikunu former Esikado Kantanan, former railways minister so this sky train ba na nenso ye hunu sky train no Mrs. Gatti nikunu and lawyer Joe Gatti, former attorney general and also former minister for roads and a friend is saying railways. So clearly offer Ghana Bar Association womu din kan de letter bi beto abontene letter na womu din kan de beto abontene no asem a womu kan letter nim say offer ensem a ya suspend the Chief Justice by the president wɔn deɛ wɔn susu sɛ ɛyɛ adeɛ bi a wɔn deɛ wɔn bɛka susu sɛ yɛmma mmara no ho kwan na mmara no nyɛ dɛn ɛnyɛ n'adwuma. Ebusua yɛnkɔ na yɛnkɔfa ɛyɛ owura ɛyɛ BOT na yɛne no ntwetwe ɛyɛ nkɔmmɔ ɛwɔ ɛyɛ yɛ fidie ɛso. Yɛnkɔ na yɛnkɔma no akɔ aba ɛwɔ ɛyɛ afidie so. Anyway, yɛgu so a ɛyɛ production team toto ahoma no na anyway ɛnkyɛ yɛhwɛ na ɛgya. So clearly ofa ɛyɛ nsɛm yi a yes nice one London fo ni agye London fo abɔ kyɛ sɛ the way a London fo ni BOT we deɛ ma me nkyɛw na me na wase paa menim sɛ ade akra akye wɔ hɔ ade asa don ana oni yɛ kase yɛ mo akɔ aba Rainbow Radio so
me jo so na mpacho no wa badwafo no watie for mo to ten
yenso yehu ye wa ha sei Ghana for mo UK de omo so ma feel Italy ni France for so say o ma feel pa na no be ya o ma nte won ka biem
sir minu ame no ko apam say yankopon ya aduma we are going to be ya do we once every month so that yenso so other business commitment and steady commitment you have, we can have time for it. And for every month, I can assure you, so I'll make myself once for your show. And untina, me no kase krano baby and wo abo is 1:20 a.m. on Thursday, but I'm still making time for you. That shows the commitment.
With the bedasi pa, nigga say. I just say Ken and Yankupon by mo honey the Thursday when you said the near Wednesday.
Precisely so.
Wait there and Sunday
Metcha
Bachokoso.
Metcha UK for Europe ne Ghana for it ye showing a teacher ne the NDC fraternity. I will extend my warmest greetings to everybody. And I'll humbly call on everyone, say, let's put all our shield on the certain agenda. Because when the government succeed, it will make the NDC as a political party very much more attractive. I've maintained, and I said in the course of election 2024, say President Mahama Eba under image redemption therapy. And so when man redeeming image, no one leave lasting legacy. The forward march of the NDC is going to be bruised. But so far, so good. If you look at the trajectory of Namswa, say in so betam from Medicaid, and all the positive indicators of governance, purely governance and the business side of the governance, is not doing bad. And I pray and hope that the momentum now there shall see, all the appointees from chief of staff down to the very last person will not let us down.
When you can say we, Mami Busao, medim say, wait ya na chika ni Ghana at the moment. Me and some bebre aba, some of the headline news bebre. I don't know if there are some that be a ususu se opese di ho komo na yewia yakọ eye one kasa wo field as a chartered economist. Now no me share a young guy be and he was saying say or share a video and it inspires him a lot and that he wants platforms will speak more solution oriented. A friend is saying solutions are a quite be fast so a be free with him. But before I be kono Ghana Bar Association, CJ, Chief Justice, suspension. Do you have anything to say about it?
Dog, I always say I'm a person limiting me to my field of expertise. Matters of law is not my field of expertise, and I will not claim to be one. Mostly I try to avoid by mis professional capacity here limited. Because you can't be a jack of all trades, you be a master of none. We can leave that to the legal minds to discuss whether His Excellency John Dramani Mahama and the government architecture, we are acting within the remit of the law, whether there is some ultra-virus conduct of the presidency, which I doubt, because there's always a precedence. But one of the few things I would love to touch on with respect to the occurrences in the country, I would love to touch on some of the flashy programs the president has been launching. Because, I'm of the firm belief that the economy determines everything. So, in every country, when you get the economic triggers right, the governance side of the political power doesn't become a problem. But when the economic side of the political power is not well grounded and well utilized, it makes the governance unbalanced. One, the presidency has launched the Mahama Care Trust, which is supposed to say that certain chronic diseases, obesity, cancer, etc., there's going to be a dedicated fund to resolve that. And I want to commend the presidency. In fact, I've heard some of my colleagues on the other side of the divide talk about the fact that, the Mahama Care Trust Fund is going to come from National Health Insurance Authority and that it is not new. And I asked them, if it is not new, why didn't you do it? You had 8 solid good years. You had all the funds you borrowed from hell to heaven, from north to south, south to south, east to west. You couldn't do it. So if somebody in less than 5 months has gathered the courage to do the undoable, show him the respect. In fact, Michael Cicero said one thing which I would love to put on your show. He said that always advance your own level of argument, but when you meet a much more superior one, drop yours. Always, dog, so what have so one and nim yansa. But yansa for be onim yansa chen wa, for yansa ne totuom. Ghana for ma to me from 2017 to 2025 January. You couldn't do that trust fund to give support for ailing chronic diseases. Somebody comes to office and less than 4 months, he gathers the courage to launch it and to tell you where the fund is going to come from. And not only that, he donates 6 months of his first salary towards that fund. His health minister does 3 months of his salary towards that fund. You have Alaji said we are going to go donating 500,000 Ghana cedis towards that fund. And the public confidence towards that is gearing up. You sit down and say that it's not a novelty. What else could be a novelty? Let the patients who are going to be the beneficiary, let them start complaining. Those who are suffering from obesity, chronic diseases, the cancer, leukemia, etc., the blood cancer, the bone cancer, I want those patients to say that, we don't need this. But if I want to hear it from the MPP who had 8 years of political power, on all that they could do was to abuse people, terrorize people, agonize people, they should give us a break. Political power is transient. And that when a certain leader begin to care for the downtrodden, the mass, the less privileged, I want to commend that leader. So wherever His Excellency John Dramani Mahama is, his cabinet, the government structure, I want to commend him. Now, the second one I want to talk about is the Oduro program. I personally, from the economic point of view, believe that every country must find a way to domesticate wealth and democratize wealth. First, you must domesticate wealth. Second, you must democratize wealth. Let me explain the two. When you domesticate wealth, you are making the local people control a chunk of the local economy, so that your local economy does not fall into the hands of predators and foreigners. The Jumare program is targeting 10,000 young entrepreneurs with a cascading positive impact to create 20,000 jobs annually. If we are to create 20,000 jobs annually and we have 4 years, we are talking about averagely 80,000 jobs to be created. So if a certain government says that, look, I'm launching 100 million Ghana cedi fund, a Jumera fund, to give mentorship, capacity building, skill training, funding support to young and growing and teaming. And because look, not everybody can get a government job. In fact, the government pay structure is choke. The private sector is likely becoming the engine of growth. So when a certain president says that, look, I'm giving you a Jumera program, it simply means that be the owner of yourself, be self-employed. How did the Asian targets like the Singapore, the Hong Kong, Korea, Taiwan, Vietnam, how did they go to achieve where they are now? They went through domesticating wealth, democratizing wealth. When you democratizing wealth, you don't leave the wealth creation in the hands of the few elite class. You make it broader. So let's take the Jumera policy. All the 16 regions in Ghana, beneficiaries will spring across the 16 regions. So formally, a young person from Bono, Bono East, who never had mentorship, capital, skill development, funding, to open a little business, through the Jumera policy, that person will be gingered to do that. So I want to commend the presidency on that. The next one is the National Apprenticeship Program, which is being launched today in Tamale. You bear witness to the fact that not everybody can get higher educational level. But if you take Europe, the Schengen zones, they've gotten to where they are through apprenticeship with their hand and with their hearts. So when a certain government less than 4 months dedicate itself to say that, look, all those with hands-on skills, we want to give you training, funding, support, and mentorship, I dove my heart out. So by and large, these are some of the novelty that some of us do believe that, yes, indeed, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama is on a legacy mission. And I pray and hope that this momentum will be sustained till 2028. Because we cannot work so much for power only to lose it 4 years later. No. Kenyans must get the political dividend of the NDC government. Kenyans must see differences in governance. The last of it all. Let me take you to the Foreign Affairs Ministry. Today, Ghana has launched chip-embedded passports. For the want of better words, many people do not value the essence of the chip-embedded passport. And let me take 2 minutes of your precious time on Rainbow Radio to educate or give further information to the public. When your country possesses a chip-embedded passport, it means that internationally, you can have a visa-free more country to travel with that passport. If you take Singapore, if you take Malaysia, if you take Brunei, if you take Qatar, if you take Taiwan, if you take most of the European countries, the reason why their passport enjoy visa-free to most countries is that most of their passports are chip-embedded. When you have a chip-embedded passport, it reduces identity fraud. And it makes ICAO, International Civil Aviation Organization, trust that country. And not only that, the cost of doing passport now in Ghana has been reduced from 500 Ghana to 350 Ghana cedi with free delivery to your home. Formerly, it was 500 Ghana. You couldn't have free delivery at your home. This is a government you must trust. And Doc, I have never regretted playing a role to bring His Excellency John Dramani Mahama and the NDC to power. Governance is your ability to democratize wealth and to domesticate wealth. And I see this commitment from the part of the government that indeed we are on course. The last of it all is about the free tertiary education for first-year students, which is taking place. It was launched yesterday. The portal has been introduced to students, and there is a government you can trust. Indeed, I have no single regret whatsoever for any commitment I made that brought the NDC and John Dramani Mahama's Excellency into governance.
we dear what church mu kama say na obibeka say ofa a year UK one of the a year important a year adia by notable who de rua a year these apprenticeship a year government apprenticeship a year program see na obibe busa say when it comes to a year Ghana no empempi no ayana ya announce sa ensem ya you don't see a year the youth getting on board. You don't see a lot of the masses getting on board. And then also say buy any betimi ya e be encourage a year the youth no titiri nuanu mo a aya omotonton yoma wo a year mountain dog chains yemu de nyina kwan tonton PK. And then also say buy any betimi aya e be boa masa emerantewa ne mabaawa we no so I mean, Omobenya GDA woman almost take part of this because here can I really be themselves we dear Yesika for man one, yes, I kwa ya momo, a year the downtrodden for the ayana anti en sheda bwa womosa. A dear now to buy any bit to me. Oh, ebusia yahwe ora BOT say me number one economist wo ha na what me nka
Yeah, but if I got your question right, now Bisa said with apprenticeship, how can the bigger young people, the teeming unemployed young people reap the dividend thereof? But was that not the import of your question?
Me patch.
Okay. So that is why the local governance system must be rooted into this program. Look, every development is local. Every development is local. Quite apart from, say, a buy bet and share with bigger program, project, and policies, it must descend down to the last person at the polling station. Somebody said that about Ghana, a ballot board can reach every smaller hamlet in Ghana, but development cannot reach the same hamlet. It do that yet to about. Politicians can crisscross every length and breadth of the country. They can drink from every even dirty water. But politicians, we near about we not catch and say, baby, or couple to me on San Coho, I know to train home. And he said they do about why I do campaign time. Yet me read every nook cranny near the ballot box to me read baby or any Sirano. Saban launchy a dear Sefata Fesia. It was Saban who to me 2 and a month said, Yanambanu Sma, Yanambanu Neve. And he said you do campaign time. Oko Sunyana West, Doma Central, Wenchi, Bunkrugu Yoyo, the Kasna Nankana area, Savelugu, Zazugu, Tatale, Mpoho, Kwesimintim, said you would me run every nook and cranny, and the corporate to me. When the people repose their confidence in you, now launching a novelty like the National Apprenticeship Program, the government must decentralize its operation, find a way for it to get to the last local person. And that is very important. That is very, very important. So what I can say is that the government must find a way and work with the assemblies in Ghana. So there should be an integrated joint effort between the MMDCs and the NIP, the Youth Authority and NIP, so that at one launch presidential level, how do you finally get to the people? And I was said the MMDCs, the assembly members, the area council, the town council, the leadership at the traditional level, rope them in. Because assemblymen, we bet my one in Persia, so the electoral area. Or bet my identify one growing young business person or young businesswoman there. Sabani son asna, it can be the next despite. Enti, my suggestion, I made them through Rainbow Radio, they said, the government must integrate the MMDCs into this. And they should create a department at every MMDA in Ghana. And that should be government flagship directorate. In Saoko KME, Sunyani West, Doma Central, Sunyani Eastern, at the assembly level, no, government must create a directorate for presidential special initiative, and there should be a district coordinator. And it's our district coordinator, and the obey say, it's a national apprentice program Abana launch here. At the district level, no, he should take it up and sell it to the people. How do you do that? You have the information service department who have the vans. And in Kawa launch here, you know, district biano pekroba konumre, no are calling something like a video to the people, so that the people will watch it and take cue out of it. Obehe Jumarua, Obehe free scholarship, Obehe national apprenticeship program. Abro Gusu Aosheno, you will get people who will take advantage of it. But we shouldn't just launch the thing in Accra and think that it will sync with the people. You are going to feel like the previous government.
And just say, and yes, a year policies, no. A year a friend is saying the offices no etna one cry. Nemo no and call a year the grassroots no decentralize it so that obia war a year in peswas no people can be visiting these offices. No more timenya jumani biaye no more bohu de runa kwankwa so abande ba ye wo kan yi o pe a year office na just oko Jubilee House and I just say bia oko ministry of a year employment to be one ministry of bia agriculture sa anu money de wu no just the other regions ne de na eja obese they've been left to their own peril.
Dog mamen kan asemunchro. Apart from the Jumera apprenticeship, no, government has also launched Fee Ghana and Kokon Ketinkete policy. This project was launched in Techiman. When me buy been said the whole country, the food basket of Ghana is a brown half region, which is the half of Bono East and Bono put together.
Yeah,
that is the food basket. Ope baby and Koko pay a domahi couldn't impart them. How do you take it? You localize the policy to the people. Government must find a way, a very innovative way. How do you bring on board unit committee members, assembly members, area council, town council, urban councils, give them training of the government policies? These people will go to the electoral areas, polling stations, and identify people who merit it. Though, despite the fact that I'm a member of the NDC, I want to shudder to say, sir, and your policy be an political. Look, sir, abai bia woman for the year, a matazes tax revenue cost from abino. Abai bia sa woman for the year, a match social crime, a coffin. Abai bia sa woman for the year, a match very few want to travel. Aban bia sa o manfo di ye na nipa kra peso o mutu kwan a visa di enye den enti enhihye na aban di aba eye nhihye papa na mom anamo a me suggest to aban ne say every municipal assembly every metro municipal assembly in Ghana no there should be a department for government flagship programs, and that will even create job for people. In the side department, you know, so we will launch Feed Ghana, Nkukon Ketenkete, a Jumera policy, national apprenticeship, free fertilizer. That person will be mandated to take it to the people in their district. That is my suggestion for now.
Na just say me tio ye dia. Aban na dwuma no o ye ni nyina no. It should not be say aban na just or announce it. Now we jankofo, you should carry the people along so that the people will have the understanding so that they can also get involved strongly. Ebane sa emejuma no eyemere emanipa no so tiase na boa ma ban adwuma no so de ekonanim.
Dr. Ray, let me give you practical. Let me use myself as a case study for you.
Okay.
Before I came out talking about the economy, there were so many chartered economists before I came on board. But within a short time, many people came to understand the economy in a very simple way from me. Do you know why? I got close to the people.
Oh, okay. So, now who secret? You know, they want to rent an office and Bob tired.
No. let me tell you, as I'm speaking with you, over 15 young people in Ghana are doing a chartered course in economics because of me.
Wow.
Yes. Look, all they say, they've come to admire and love the way I made economics look simple. People from Northern region, Upper West, Bono East. Some are even university students who are reading the economy. They want to charter. Why? Somebody took something that was not popular and it's been very popularized.
Because those days, then get a chartered accountant, economist, they can economist in no one charter.
Yes. Look, I took it upon myself. So I'll make chartered economists as a field very popular. I was not looking for any gain. I just wanted to make people understand the economy because the economy determines everything. In the same way and breadth, you cannot just get married to a lady and think that she will deliver a bouncing baby boy. You must impregnate her. Don't you get the point? So yes. What's the vibe now? You can't just marry a lady and conclude that a mere marital ceremony will give you a bouncing baby boy. You must work in the night.
There should be a performance.
There should be a mathematics, you know. So a government must not just launch a novelty programs and projects and go to sleep. The government must find a way to localize it. And how do you localize it? Already Ghana Chapter 2022 Constitution, we have a robust local governance system. Effectualize it. Make it efficient. Use the developmental stakeholders of the country. The assembly members who have been promised to be given an allowance, monthly allowance of Ghana cities. Make good use of them. Don't let the assembly member take the monthly allowance and go to sleep. Let the assembly members receive that monthly stipend or allowance and put them to work. Make the assembly members work. Let them identify young business people in their electoral areas. Let them play supervisory, monitoring, and evaluation role. And within 4 years, we'll then be building the foundational stone of business and entrepreneurship in the country. Look, how did China get to where they are? Somebody can make a claim that China started in it, but shall say free, baby.
Okay.
So let's start from somewhere. Already we have the system. We need a political will. We have the system in place. Already we have unit committee, assembly members, MMDC, presiding members, traditional authorities. Make good use of them. If young people are going to need land, when you bring on board the chiefs, now young people need vast land for agriculture. Because someone bringing on board the chiefs, they release the land to the young people. Once we do that, dog, we'll be good to go.
Let's just say, and someone would say, yeah, the bar and they offer a yes, said Donald Trump, the president of the United States, or say, well, Bomodia at the 10% a year tariffs, a Ghana so. Now, Bubusa say, as our tariffs here, what they are 2 years, and soon sounds so bad that the Bemba or mine so. Na minim se watch search and same bim de na ye be kɔ eye ekwan ye be fa so a ye nso ye betimi yade ye ho tariff in sunsan so bi wo so ana say we should just, as some people say, let's go and engage a year United States of America ye engagement na ye twa so na no an no. What is the way forward?
Trump is not a leader, he's a businessman. Trump is not a leader, he's a psychopath, he's a businessman.
Look, now, Okasa.
When all you have in your hand is a hammer, everything look like a nail for you. Se nipa bia wo hona de bia wo de wo nsem na ye hammer. Ade bia se dado ama.
No cre.
Akola bi na no papa de ko school wa America. And Okodo America buy and within 4 years of buy and energy so no. Ne ma me mo kasa na omo ka no no kasa atwi na ye kan bi. No best slang it. Nti when na ohun say vulture and wiem. No, so Papa, is that opete? No, Papa say, oh, me, no, mammy, you have 2 years for almost 40 years. Ya nama ye mu ye pan. O kotena US, hey ya popo travel 4 years. Say the opeta than opete. Trump, hey ya give the shade timbe di mampenino. Na od entitlement mentality ne buy. Trump came at the backdrop of say the world is now a unipolar. You can say unipolar. For some time, US was a superpower. But dog, the world in terms of trade, business, and commerce and international relationship has moved from unipolar, duopolar to multipolar. Scantitiana US in Kwana Tidana Soro Otuania, America, Otuania, American, and Assassin. Today, people prefer to look at Europe, to look at Russia, to look at China, to look at UK, etc., etc. And this akakabinsen and Arabia na etwam. US man and home so everybody can go to sleep. Today, China is beating them to their game. Look at the global bond market, the treasury market of US is falling. The capital market is taking a nosedive. Nobody wants a self-centered leader. I repeat, nobody wants a self-centered leader. Look, US has a population less than 500 million, true or false?
That is true.
China has a population of about 1.2, 1.3 billion, true or false?
And currently it's 1.4 billion.
India has about 1.4, 1.5 billion, true or false?
That's true.
So let's take the market size, a case study. Let's take the market size of US, China, and India. Who buys more?
China and India will buy more.
Precisely. And anybody who has done elementary economics, there's something called economics of large-scale production. If my population is 1.4 billion in China, and I'm producing vehicle, it means that I can have 1/3 of that 1.4 billion buy my car. When you're lying.
Yes.
So we are talking about 450 million people who demand car every year in China. But if I take US and your population, let's say 450 million, only about 1/3 will buy a car. That's about 160 million people. So a country that has an automobile market size annually of 1 year of 460 million and one with 160 million, which of the two has the purchasing power?
Of course, China, the numbers.
So there's something called the purchasing power parity, PPP, in economics. The purchasing power parity is the people capacity and ability to buy what you produce. So the combined force of the Asian tigers, and here I'm referring to China, India, Singapore, Taiwan, Vietnam, etc. These are the Asian tigers. At the click of every button, they have a market size of over 2 billion people. So if the Asian people even decide to trade among themselves, they have a bigger market size more than you, US. If Europe alone, the over 26 plus countries in Europe, decide to trade among themselves, they have over 2 billion market size. Trump should come again. Trump should stop behaving like a headmaster and absentee student. The world has moved on. The world has moved on. And you must realize that economic dominance is not about oratory. Economic dominance is not about casting aspersions. It's not about casting innuendos. And yes, who did the attempt to look, yana nanum say in so share away and fenipa and so ben a fenipa.
In so you know.
And China is deploying what you call strategic silence. They are creeping slowly, but they are catching up. And they've caught up. Look, the best innovation today is coming from China and the Asian tigers. Take Hong Kong, take Singapore, take their financial market, very developed. And you can't say, oh, America, there are more chances. They will be more chances. Today, before you could say, Jack, innovation is happening in China more than US. Go and look at the number of smart cities in China compared to US. So, let me come to the trade war. I don't see the world witnessing third war again. No, it's out. But I see the world entangling itself in more trade wars. But nobody wins, nobody loses. But here, America has lost. Look, China was buying Boeing craft from US. Today, they stopped buying it. Who loses? The company from a country is losing. Doug, let me say this for a fact, and I want every economist to challenge me. In a very competitive world, you don't need protectionism. You need innovativeness. In the world of competitiveness, you don't need protectionism. You don't need trade barrier. You don't need trade war. You need innovativeness. The more innovative you are, the more people want to gravitate towards you. Let me take Apple phone. Apple did not attain the feat they are years back. Why is it that everybody today wants an iPhone? Because somebody introduced a special innovative tool in it. And everybody today does better features. Everybody dancing around iPhone, Apple phone. Why do most people like Samsung? Samsung started as a commodity trading company. Samsung was a commodity trading company. He was selling cooking utensils and other commodities. He ventured into electronics, and today, look at Samsung. Look at Rolls-Royce as a car. It takes 6 months to make one Rolls-Royce, but it lasts for 100 years. It takes 6 months to make one Rolls-Royce, but any Rolls-Royce that is made can last for 100 years. So, what President Trump must avert his mind to is that Yemfa Kakabensene Takashi and run a political governance. You must introduce innovativeness. Be innovative in your leadership, such that the world cannot ignore you. Look, let me tell you what Trump is doing. What Trump is doing is like a man who wants to force a lady to love him. You won't get a love. That is what Trump is doing. Trump wants to force the whole world to marry US. It's never going to happen. And he should give us a break. Rather, say you pay man up person ban no one. O sorry no part test no. Friend no. Eya fane ko out kakra. Now I'm on a peg. Now I hage no. Now we top perfume man.
Mr. Lover.
You never catch no. The dog got there. And they are not bombastic.
The chartered account economist.
I should be a lover boy. Because so we a bear person or ban no one. Won't mean for so or ban so ban no. I'm situating this to the economic management of the world. You can't force countries to trade with you or to fear you. You can't. And it's a way of Bemana person or banting to Domua, a crocro. And your ban or baby, oh, Valentine, then call out. Now what Tonya Mama, now crocro, now top perfume. Now they call lunch. And for her and our potential guys 3, 2 of them are not doing what you are doing. Automatically, the lady is likely to fall to you.
But here too, though.
All other things being equal.
Economist one, all other things being equal.
All other things being equal. Because at times to when you do all these things and you cannot perform on bed, you can lose your place, the number 1 place.
All other things being equal, Ampa.
All other things being equal. Now let's march forward.
Yeah.
In similar vein, if you want to intimidate sovereign countries with tariff, raising tariff as much as 124%, that was economically illogical. And you expected China to sit back and watch you. China fought back. And America became the loser. Let me relate this to our country, Ghana. Ghana largely we feed on raw materials exportation. So when you slap 10% of trade tariff on us, it can affect our balance of trade. In that case, what must Ghana do? We must look for other emerging markets. If America want to punish us, let's look at Asia. Let's look at Europe. Let's look at intra-trade within Africa. Now we have After African Trade Continental Agreement. So the Ghana Export Promotion Authority must begin to look at, if America want to punish us, let's look for alternative markets. Let's look at the Asia zone. Over 40 plus countries. Where can we trade with them with no 10% tariff on our goods that we are exporting? Let's look at the 54 countries in Africa. Where can we trade in such a way that we will not end up paying the 10% tariff? That's my suggestion to the government. Because Trump is a psychopath. He has made up his mind that whether you like it or yes, I'm going to do it. Because this is my last thing. And I don't care. He's not even looking at the political consequences of his decision in 2028 for his party, the Republicans. He doesn't care. So, our government machinery, the Ministry of Trade and Agribusiness and Industry, the Foreign Affairs Ministry, the Finance Ministry, we must begin to look at alternative markets. And by alternative market, Africa, the 54 countries in Africa minus Ghana, should be our first priority. What is it we can do with Nigeria, Gambia, South Africa, Botswana, Namibia, that can even be better than dealing with US? 2, how can we look at dealing with Europe? 3, how can we look at even bringing Russia, the Middle East? Once we go this way, we can sidestep the tyranny of Trump and move on.
Wow. I was young, so I would hear Rainbow Radio 92.4 FM. My producer said the numbers are very, very huge on Alexa and also Omo Drive. Messages baby no Abba way every hour was such a fine brain. Or you see where the one and they been to me. Or you see America for the God damn it. What a fine brain. Way every year Kujoho or say Dr. Ren, these are the men that we need that provoke thought for us to think and reason and move our nation from abject poverty. With men like Mr. Oduro, we will go far. If only government of today will listen to him and give him the opportunity to serve Mother Ghana. These are the people. You can sense from his voice patriotism, passionate, somebody who is willing and ready to sacrifice. God bless Mr. Oduro. God bless Ghana. When so, Alaji, Seidu, Ishak, or say yes. When I listen to BOT, I always feel inspired. I follow him everywhere he goes. At the moment, I'm listening to you guys from Virginia. Oh my God, what a wisdom to behold. Hey, amanfoɔ kasa ayɛ sɛ deɛ ɔmo twerɛ poem o ɔmo asua wa mɔmɔ akyi baba ne gu ɔmo tirim ye maame kɔ North London wɔfa yɛ a wɔse Dr. Ren ɛnɛ deɛ me master na ankasa na aba no ɔkyerɛ deɛ na ama wo say yes you have to take your book and your pen. Now we try PPP. Just say you economist the nyina wom. Amanfo pick points. We free a year sofo kwabena or say doctor fantastic show. Thank you and your production team. We say amanfo bebre no afre munya abotre emrepem no mefa mo your time no kokra because I say mija Mr. Oduro Mr. Bernard Oduro Takyi ema ne kokoda because baby owo no ade asa onam 2 am eko wabre esemija no ma no kokoda minim se nyame adoma da sene no ye bebo nkomo kama your time no so already no your time no cry so I dey aso already aja ye kase ide overse your time no aso ye hwe ni mu se ye ni yes. So clearly, Miss Remwa Monfancheme, it may be 5-10 minutes before I wrap it up because time and so no so Okokoda is a very busy man. Yameya Dumiano. Was answer doing say every a year month to be on only ebedin komo once in a month, and I think it's a very good news. My main fan messages a year me and sawi na me from away every year Auntie Cynthia ho. I said, Dr. Ren, I'm a nurse in at yes, St. Thomas. It is my break time, and I'm listening to you. And Mr. Oduro, this is a very good program. BOT, keep it up and don't stop. Ghana looks up to you. And some of us in the diaspora, when we listen to people like you speak, it gives us a hope that at least one day when we return home, men like yourself will develop the nation Ghana. And I only hope and pray that this government, John Dramani Mahama, will give you the opportunity to serve Ghana, because with this fine brain, we should not let this fine brain go without going without tapping into it. We every Susie on also Liverpool. I said Dr. Ren, meet him on Liverpool Street. Na meni Japan and intima pe baby ama park a meet him or kamu. Mempese me du fi ne nkora ne kora be ha ma adwene intimity mo nyame enhyira mo ora BOT de yedi nechi pampen ye hwe nim se John Dramani Mahama ebema ne position no was serve na o man mpo no BOT is already serving and helping the youth Ghana. God bless BOT. We every me production team say we Michael or say Dr. Ren Mr. BOT ye free sunyane de ye de hye konkro pa eno no ye njane mu de biara da ye dinechi ye tai nechi ne kasa ne nanimonyam kese pa ye femu aba anapa wiane anadwo wei ana o man Ghana ye hia na nye yankofo pa potwa na ye menko besremu de asem ka de aya mon kamon sam na munja mpo atwa no we lawyer Brian was say fantastic production. I love this show so much. I can't wait for the next edition. I know your time is limited. Your time, as the next year show ni better as see my former time kakra. We every year Martin or say I'm an engineer and listening to Mr. Bernard Oduro Takyi makes me get inspired that I want to even think about considering doing a year, taking some courses in economics. Hey, no. I see, yes. Chartered economist. Yes, indeed. Fine brain. Oh, Mother Ghana. Ebeyeye. Let's believe. In BOT, we believe that with his thought and might, Ghana will move forward. Or see, we every Georgina, I also 8 Lewisham, or say Maslow a year hierarchy of a year needs, no, food, clothing, and shelter, and everything that Mr. Bernard Oduro Takyi is saying is a multi-billion-dollar industry. If only we can add value to our agri produce, we can package it nicely and then also ship it to countries like Europe and America. And just like he said, if America is okay, quote and unquote, which is we can look to Asia and other Europe, or even trade with African countries. God bless BOT. Bernard, me say o time in my jibebre. Maybe I want to show in 5 minutes.
Don't worry. One, let me divulge this information to people. Do you know, sir, Rwandan President His Excellency Paul Kagame, do you know what he's doing in Rwanda now?
Just a boy, man.
Was zoning we are into 11 zones. And now, what pointing Nipa could be to look for ideas from each zone.
Okay, that explains it. Because over UK, yeah. Not only so many ask that, but many of the places here was some of the innovative ideas some of my Rwanda friends, even me more BBC, they like to pick up some informations and share back home to them.
Yeah.
Oh,
and let me tell you, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama should do that. This is the way he should go. Africa, we have North, South, West, East, Central. Apportion a student each. Let them do their PhD. And let them gather research data in each of Africa, making 5. South, West, East, Central, North. And Maninko any PhD or North Africa. Or any PhD now assign him to gather intelligence, research, and data. And to bounce about the policy be about, it becomes an improved version of what other part of the world is doing. Let me take you to Asia. Over Asia, your West and East Asia. Asia is big. You can redesign Asia into about 4 zones. Get people to go and do their masters or PhD. Assign them to gather research and data on their policies in aviation, agriculture, industry, sanitation, waste management, etc. Let me take you to Europe. You can zone Europe into 2 areas, East and West. Go and do your PhD. Government will give you special stipend. All you need to do is to do research on how the West Europe is developing. What innovation are they bringing? Until every month, these global coordinators can have a platform and cross-share ideas. Now, when they share the idea, you must get somebody at the presidency to be a nexus between them and direct to the president. Don't take them to the foreign affairs minister. There'll be bureaucracy over there. So the president must be intentional. Get people. Let them bring ideas, innovation, research, the way the world is moving. And in the next 4 years, you set a certain foundation that, look, Ghana will become an icon again. Look, last of it, or how did Kwame Nkrumah do it? It was through research and development. Nkrumah was not a superhuman being. To today, how well do we know what Southern African countries are doing? Taking South Africa, Botswana, Mozambique, Eswatini, Lesotho, Zimbabwe. What are they doing? Go to the Northern Africa, Egypt, Morocco, etc. Get people, put them out there. But every year, every month, there should be briefing. There should be a nexus at the presidency. This one, no bureaucracy through chief of staff. The president can even have a portal with them. That every month they will brief the president. It can be a 1 hour, like the way you're giving me 1 hour. Everybody will submit his report. They deliberate on it. The president gets somebody as a coordinating officer in the next 2, 3, 4 years, Ghana will leapfrog our developmental trajectory. Look, we don't have the excuse to fail Ghanaians. It is not easy to score 57% in democratic elections like Ghana and get to test majority. The expectation is high. And I always keep telling people, with a few exceptions of a more man play major role in the campaign, look, the tempo of Ghana is that if we NDC, we do our things well. Dr. Ren, read my lips. It will take MPP about 16 years to come back. Say NDC, now you tap into the right people. Now we have business as usual. And we feel like, oh, the power has come. Some people don't matter. Trust me, meritocracy should be the cornerstone of every government that wants to be efficient. I don't need to like you to work with you. But in the supreme interest of the country, my singular conclusive suggestion is that the government must get people to research on how the world is going. And those people, we can zone the world. And those people should be given a PhD scholarship to study, let's say, 3 years. Even after their 3rd year, the government can find a way to let them stay till its tenure ends. By the time we say, Jack, Ghana will be developing something unique and surpass even the Asian tigers. Case closed.
Thank you so much. Wow. How I wish we would go on and go on. But the good news is a year Ora Bernard Oduro Takyi, a year chatted a year economist was Sebusumi Biano, or near BD a year and Baba
every month I'll be available for you.
Yeah, that's it, because cause Madam your time now so baby on so just say was sacrifice baby or one just go 2 a.m. no and or 2 on the air need to train a year in Komwe. Bernard, mame and now as BOT na a year Yami Adum so ube dun so eja na ye train Komwe. Thank you so much for your time. So Rainbow Radio.
Thanks for the opportunity.
Miss Samuel, my friend, into me for Mumfanchame, your time naso, a tea. Nyamia Dumwa, a year that said so a year Yebeshia. God willing on Monday, Yebeshia, Yenia, a year Ivan Che, innocent better train Como. This is where we have to go. The nation must develop. Now you be here, fine brains, now you know, so that we can come out of poverty. If Ghana is the black star of Africa, we must shine bright so that the world, every part of a year, a Caribbean we are Sibiano, and Subenya home for so. And I know, and I am sure, and I am a firm believer that the black man is not a waste person. I am a firm believer that we were not born of any inferior God. I am a firm believer that yes, Ghana be, and it will take you and I to build Ghana if indeed we want to build Ghana. God bless our homeland Ghana, make our nation great and strong, bold to defend. Till we meet next week, I say adios to each and every one of you. Take good care of yourselves.